Now, a little bird told me that one time in my absence, you made how many of these pancakes? 17?
Did I make that many? Oh my goodness.
What was it, Max? 17? You made 17 pancakes.
Wow. Wow. I must have had my coffee.
Not that you have any kind of,
The gauntlet hasn't been thrown down or anything? All right, well, silver
nothing
dollar,
like
they all
that.
count.
We'll see how that works out. This is a mixer,
Yes,
but
sir.
it's also a batter dispenser.
Well, let's talk about what pancakes take on a Sunday morning. You got the bowl, you got the mixer, you got the measuring cup, you got the ladle, you got the other measuring cup. You've got this giant pile of stuff just to make the pancakes that everybody loves. And everyone loves pancakes. I'll fight any man that says different. So let's do this in a way that's neater, quicker, easier, and you can get the kids involved because everything is kind of in there away from the fingers. So here's what I mean. We've all seen batter dispensers before, but what we did was we built in a whisk. So watch what happens. As this turns, you create that vortex on the inside. So everything gets perfectly mixed, perfectly blended together. And I'll show you this here as I spin it like this. This is designed so that as this spins, that centrifugal force sends these little guys out to the side to make sure you get everything on the edge. So what that means to you is perfect pancakes, perfectly measured out with no mess, oh, you know what? I almost forgot the most important step. Don't ever forget the butter. And by the way, brown that butter when it hits the grill. That usually means that you let it sit for about an extra 15 or 20 seconds till it starts to, fry the fats in the butter. We're not going to do that this time around, but take that as a little hint for when you're doing it at home. The pancakes are 1,000 times better. So here we go. Let's just start with our little silver dollar. And you can see this. Every time I pull that handle, I get that perfectly measured pancake. So David, that's 9. I think we're going to beat this. And don't forget, if you let it go a little bit longer, you can get those larger ones. And before this starts to settle, here, you can help me with this if you want. It's a lot of fun. Grab a couple of our toppings there. And this is where it's great to get the kids involved. The more you can do to get the kids and grandkids involved in the cooking process in the kitchen, the better off it is, because the quicker everyone learns their love of food and love of cooking and love of preparation and love of serving, I'll tell you, it's just such a happier home. So let those set up. I'm going to switch places with you here.
Yes, sir.
Show you one of my favorites. All right, here we go. I love this. You got to try this, especially you got one of our Blackstones or griddles outside.
More butter first?
You know what? Thank you. There we go. So a little bit there. A little bit there, a little bit more. There's never too much butter. So watch what we're going to do here, David. 1 line, 2 line, 3 line. And let's grab some of our crispy bacon and get that right like that.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
A little there and a little there. And I'll tell you something, you start sandwiching that bacon in between that perfectly portioned out pancake batter, and you've got a Sunday brunch treat, Saturday brunch treat that everyone's going to love.
That's not going to make me mad at all. Hey, we've got some colors for you. We have this for you in cracked pepper, fewer than 300. Here it is in aqua, fewer than 300. Here is the eggshell, 280. And on QVC.com, we can show, no, it's up front. We can show you the tomato.
Oh, there's the tomato.
Oh, wait, it is on .com.
Love it, love
180,
it.
180 available there. Now, these are coming together nicely because they're starting to gather around the edges.
They're starting to gather around the edges. That butter, by the way, is what gives you that nice crisp here. But let's have a look here. Listen, you can take this away from the griddle and find a lot more uses for this around the house, around the kitchen. And one of them is that perfect cupcake batter. You know when it says fill it up 3/4 of the way, but you don't know how much of a spoonful that is? Well, this way, you can put that exact amount for those perfect uniform results in all of your cupcakes. Look at that. Isn't that perfect? Cookie doughs, everything. I love that. I love that.
I've turned over a couple of your pancakes.
That's okay. I'm not upset.
But they look like they need to cook a little longer.
A little bit longer. Remember,
yeah, but this is lovely because you can begin to see the sprinkles come through.
I love that. I love that. So let's go ahead and let's just start flipping these. And like I said, the more you can get everybody in the kitchen involved, especially the young kids, it's such a great way to do it because, the quicker you can get a love for food and a love for prep in the kitchen, you got her going. So let's go ahead and flip those. I don't think we're going to hit our 17, but I don't know. You never know. All right, there we go. Perfect. We got those flipped. I love it. And while that's setting up, let me show you this one more time.
Okay.
It's all about everything in one package. It's all about everything you need in the kitchen, need on the counter. Because like we said, in order to make your pancakes, you got bowls, you got mixers, you got ladles, you got serving things. Everything is in one package. And that's the beauty of Prepology. Finding those little problems that make the best things in the kitchen, you know, maybe a little bit of a hassle, maybe you don't do it as often as you could because it's kind of a pain with all the cleanup. But with this, now you can enjoy those perfect pancakes anytime without the mess because we've incorporated that whisk system into the dispenser, which is just the smartest design. And I'll tell you something, I always say it right there, that's the #1 feature, that name Prepology, that's our house brand. That means you got everybody in the building backing you up. And that vortex stays nice and mixed because as I turn it, the centrifugal force sends those side prongs kind of out to the side. So I think we're ready to cook or flip our bacon here. I've rambled on long enough. Here we go. There we are. Commit to the flip.
All right.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
There it is. There it is. It's working.
It's the spatula. I
Yeah,
need a longer spatula.
Oh, you need a longer spatula.
I need a Blackstone spatula is what I need. There we go. Guys, that is such a treat. That is such a treat on a Sunday brunch morning.
Maybe with some maple syrup on top.
Well, I'm good. We're going to hit that now. Let's get these bigger ones off there. We got some syrup there. You can pile it on if you want. And
here's the syrup.
I've got my silver dollars with all of those great sprinkles, chocolate chips, all the walnuts inside, and of course, we'll just leave that one there for the set dog later. There we go. Perfect.
Now, before we hit that with syrup, maybe I should try one of these, make sure it's okay.
You know what? It's always best to do a little quality control around here.
Hot.
How'd we do? Hot as you saw it happen. Nobody's tricking you.
Wow, is that good?
There we go. Let's get our butter back on there.
And here's
Let's
our
do
syrup.
it one more time. We got our syrup. So like we said here, guys, and you know, once you've given it that little squeeze to get it on the griddle, once you take it off, there's no drip. So everything's uniform on that griddle. Everything cooks at the same time. And even if you wanted to do one of those nice big ones, maybe we'll make it a Q. Let's do that. There we are. We'll serve our bacon.
Nicely done, sir. All right, now, as you work on the bacon, I will tell you we started with fewer than 1,100, and we have this for you in the cracked pepper. 260, here's the aqua. 250, this is the eggshell. 260, and we have finally the tomato for you. 150 in the tomato, so please don't wait on that one.
Let's go ahead and serve our last bacon one just like that. I love this. When you get that nice crispy bacon popping out of that pancake batter, oh, that's yummy. Add a little flavoring in there. Perfect stuff. Let's make a couple of nice
Maybe
big ones here.
I'll add a little syrup to that.
Yeah, the syrup with the bacon. Like I said before, that makes us friends.
Salty sweet.
Uh-huh.
Now, you're coming back, I understand.
I am. We got a utensil
You've got a
holder.
utensil holder.